So we will be seeing today binary, parallel.
Sir?
Yes.
So in last class, we have not implemented the full subtractor using NOR gate. So can you please explain that once more?
I have told you to solve it further, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
I've
sir.
asked-
I tried, sir. So can you, sir, once more tell that?
Yes, yes. So we will complete that after this. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Later on we will complete for sure. So today we will be seeing the binary parallel ladder. So it consists of a full ladder which is connected in series with output carry from each full ladder connected to the input carry of the next full ladder. So suppose you are having a 4-bit number. Right. So this is, let us say, for full ladder first, full ladder second, full ladder third, and full ladder fourth. So for adding 4-bit number, you can say we have some carry in. Carry in can be 1 or 0. This can be first bit, where A1 represents the first number, B1 represents the second bit. This is A2, B2, A3, B3, A4, and B4. And this full ladder one, if you check this full ladder one, this is add A1, B1, and C in and produce a sum output S1, and the carry will be gone to the next stage, right? So this C1 will act as a carry in for full ladder 2. Now again in full ladder 2, this A2 and B2 and C1 will get added up and produce a sum of S2 and produce a carry of C2, right? So likewise, you can see again in next stage, A3, B3, and C2 will get added up, and they will produce a sum of S3 and produce a carry of C3. Next bit, A4, B4, C3 will get added up, produce a sum of S4, and produce a carry of C4. So this C4 you can also call it as C out, right? So we are having a C in at one end, and we are having C out at another end, and this S1, S2, S3, S4 are the sum terms. So if you want to represent this in IC form, so IC of this is also available in the market. So IC means integrated circuit, where all the full adders are integrated into a single chip. So this is 4-bit parallel adder, and IC name is 74LS83. This is the name of the IC, that is 74LS83. So this is a 4-bit parallel adder. So here you have to enter the 4-bit number, that is A0, A1, A2, and A3. You have added one number as in here. Second number, enter, you can enter it from here. The architecture is like that. That is why I'm drawing it: B3, B2, B1, and B0. So 2 numbers we have added. So sum you can get it from here. Just check the arrow. The sum is coming out. So this is S3, S2, S1, and S0. And this is, you can call it as C in if you are having any carry from the previous number. If it is more than 4, if it is a 16-bit number, then the carry can be generated from the previous 4-bit. So this C in is representing that. C in can be either 0 or 1, right? So you can take it as don't care, right? Don't care means it can be either 0 or 1. And here you will be getting as C4, or you can also call it as C out. So this is the 4-bit parallel adder IC. So where each full adder is, you can make it from NAND gate or NOR gate, right? And so you are having a combination like this. Okay. So this is also called it as, this full parallel binary adder is also called as ripple carry adder. So this is also called as ripple carry adder. Why it is called as, we will just see. So you can see carry out of each stage is connected to the carry in of the next stage. So if you pay attention here, so you can see carry out of each stage. See, C1 is a carry out of full adder first
stage,
right? So this carry out of first stage is the carry in of the second stage, right? Hence, the sum and carry out bits of any stage cannot be processed. So hence the sum, let us say sum 3 and C4 of any stage of full adder 3 cannot be produced until carry in of that stage occurs, until this carry occurs. Until this carry you are having, this sum S3 and C3 cannot take place, right? And how and when will this carry C2 occurs? So when this full adder 1 and full adder 2 completes its operation. So this is due to the propagation delay in the logic circuitry, right? This full adder will be made up of some logic gates that we have seen, either universal gate or AOI logic, and those are made up of semiconductor devices, and they will take some amount of time to process the information. So that is called as, the delay is called as propagation delay due to the logic circuitry. So this kind of parallel adder is known as ripple carry adder. So this kind of parallel adder is called as ripple carry adder. So you just see here we are having 4-bit number. So you might have 8-bit number or 16-bit number, 32-bit number, or 64-bit number as well, right? 64-bit processor is also available in the market. So if you are having a 64-bit number, so just assume the 64th bit or 63rd bit, it will take time till first bit to 63rd bit sum is done, and then it will take that much amount of time. So that means there is some delay in this parallel binary parallel adder. So that is called as propagation delay. So this is what we call it as a ripple carry adder, right? So again, once again, so you can see here the carry in or the carry out of each stage is connected to the carry in of the next stage. So you can see if C1 is a carry out of F1, that is full adder 1. So this is connected to the next carry in of the next stage, that is full adder 2, right? Hence the sum and carry out bits at any stage cannot be processed until the carry in occurs, right? So this C3 and S3 you cannot get it until and unless you are having C2 as well. And when will you have C2? After some propagation delay, obviously, because this full adder are consisting of logic gates, which is made up of semiconductor devices, and it will take some amount of time to process the information. So this type of carry adder, when the carry in of the previous stage is fed to the carry in, carry out of the previous stage is fed to the carry in of the next stage. So this type of adder, we call it as a ripple carry adder, and there is some amount of propagation delay in that. And as the number of bits increases, that means number of full adders increases connected in cascaded or series, then number of delay is also increased. Is it clear? This ripple carry adder is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next we will see 4-bit parallel subtraction adder. We have seen, so subtraction we will also see. 4-bit parallel subtraction. So subtraction via 2's complement we will see. Subtraction via 2's complement. So we have already studied how to perform subtraction using 2's complement. And how can be 2's complement taken from for any number? First we have to take 1's complement and then add 1 to the least significant bit. So this is how you take the 2's complement of any number, any binary number, right? First you have to take the 1's complement, then you have to add 1 to the least significant bit, right? So how can we make a full parallel subtractor unit? Just check, just see. So we are again having full adder. Add subtraction will be done through the adder only, as we have seen in our previous cases. So this is full adder 1, full adder 2, full adder 3, full adder 4. Now input here will be, you can say we are having same input, that is, you can call it as A1, A2, A3 and A4. So 4-bit number is there. Now B1, B2, B3 we have to subtract from A1, like A1, A2, sorry. You have to subtract A3, A2, A1 and A4 minus B4, B3, B2 and B1. So you have to subtract this. So that means you have to take the 2's complement of B's number. So how you can take 2's complement? First you have to take the 1's complement. 1's complement means wherever there is a 1, you have to replace it by 0, and wherever it is 0, you have to replace it by 1. So what that means, what? You can pass it through an inverter, right? If you pass B1 through an inverter, just see here, if you pass B1 through an inverter, if B1 is having 0, then it will be 1. Similarly, you can do it for B2, you can do it for B3, and you can do it for B4, right? So now you have taken the 1's complement of B1, B2, B3. Now what you have to do, you have to add 1 to the least significant bit. And how you can do that? This carry in, you can keep it as 1. If carry in is 1, that means we are adding 1 to the least significant bit, and then there will be a 2's complement of B's number. So this will produce what? This will produce some S1, and this will produce carry 1. This will produce some S2, produce carry C2, produce some 3, then carry 3, some 4, and then carry 4, right? So this is the 4-bit parallel subtraction. So you can see it is performed by using 2's complement, via 2's complement. And how we can take 2's complement? First we have to take the first complement, then you have to add 1 to the LSB. And how we have taken 1's complement? By addition of this inverter in B, right? And then we have kept C in as 1 because we have to add 1 to the LSB. This 4-bit parallel subtractor is clear?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, after the first adder, when the sum is generated, suppose there is no carry generated, then how will B2, the 2 complements of B2 will get?
No, you do not have to add 1 to each bit, right? Suppose if you want to take the 2's complement of 1 0 1 0 1, how will you take 2's complement of 1 0 1 0 1? That will be 0 1 0 1 0, and then you have to add 1 only to the least significant bit. That means 1 1 0 1 0. So this is the 2's complement of this number. You do not have to add 1 to each bit.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this one is added where you can see this one we are adding it through the scene. Okay, is it okay? Okay. Now we will see binary adder and subtractor at the same time from the same logic. If you remember, I have told you in our previous classes that subtraction is also performed by the addition. That means why we are doing that? Because so that no extra hardware is required. That is our prime concern, right? To reduce the hardware. So subtraction will be performed through the addition only. Just the difference is there. When you do the subtraction, you have to take the 2's complement of the whatever number you have to subtract, right? So just see how we can achieve this thing. So again, we are having 4-bit number. So this is full adder 1, full adder 2, full adder 3, full adder 4. And so if you have seen in our parallel adder and parallel subtractor, our one number is kept same, that is A1. So you can keep this same, that is A1, A2, A3, and A4, right? And then you can take one line, you can call it as M or X, whatever you want. Let us just call it as a variable that is M, and you can enter this M as our C in. We will put a condition when M can take two values. N can take two values, that is either M can be 0 or M can be 1, right? So just pay attention. So this M is done here. Then one XOR gate will be needed here. So this is the XOR gate. Input of this XOR gate, one input is your B1, B2, B3, and B4. This is first input. And second input will be this M. This M is going here. Right. So this output of this XOR will be B XOR with M, right? Just pay attention to this, and this will be flowing to the input of the full adder, and we will be getting here as sum 1, and carry is carry 1, sum 2, this is carry 2, sum 3, carry 3, sum 4, and carry 4, or you can also call it as carry out, right? So now when you want to operate this circuit as an adder, what you have to do, you have to put M is equal to 0. If you put M is equal to 0, it will act as an adder circuit. Just see how. If M is equal to 0, that means C in will also be equal to 0, correct? And this number which is flowing from the XOR gate, so this is B XOR with 0. B XOR with 0 will be what? Suppose B is 1. 1 XOR with 0, and B can also be 0. So 0 XOR with 0. So 1 XOR with 0 is what? 1 XOR with 0 is 1, and 0 XOR with 0 is 0. So B XOR with 0 is what? Will be B only, right? So you can see here, if M is equal to 0, then C in also equal to 0, and input to this will be B1, B2, B3, and B4. It will not be a complement, right? Now second case, take M is equal to 1. So when M is equal to 1, clearly you can see that C in will be equal to 1 and B XOR with 1. So we have seen that if you want to XOR with 1, so it will be its complement. We will prove it here as well. So B can be either 1 or B can be either 0. So 1 XOR with 1 is what? 0. And 0 XOR with 1 is what? 1. So you can see that when B is equal to 1, we are getting 0. When B is equal to 0, we are getting 1. So that means B XOR with 1 will be equal to B bar. So if M is equal to 1, and when you want to operate this circuit as a subtractor, what you can do, you can put M is equal to 1 here. So M is a variable, right? You can give a high logic or a low logic if you want to operate it in a adder or subtractor respectively. When you want to operate this circuit as an adder, you can give M is equal to 0. This will work as an adder. And when you want to operate it as a subtractor, you can give M is equal to 1. So when M is equal to 1, this will be B bar, B1 bar, B2 bar, B3 bar, B4 bar. Is it okay? This circuit is okay? Just check. This is 4-bit adder subtractor. Should we move forward? Is there any doubt in this? You can ask. Am I audible?
One means writing.
My voice was not coming. Am I audible?
It's coming.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is okay or not? Where you are having doubt, you can ask. Should I explain it again?
Yes, sir.
Explain it again.
Yes.
Okay. So we have to make adder and subtractor from one hardware only. So what we will do, we will be requiring again 4 full adder. So you can see we are having 4 full adder, right? And this will be A1. You can directly put 1 bit number, that is 2, A3, and A4. And what I'm saying that I'm having a variable M here. M can be either 0 or 1, and we are inputting this as C in, right? And XOR gate will be required as an extra. That is 4 XOR gate for 4 full adder. One input to this XOR will be simply B1, B2, B3, and B4. Other input will be M. Right? So you will get a corresponding sum and corresponding C1, corresponding sum 2, C2, sum 3, C3, sum 4, and then C4. Or you can also call this as C out. So this can even name it as full adder 1, full adder 2, full adder 3, full adder 4. Now I am saying that M is a variable here. M can have 2 different values. M can be either 0 or M can be either 1. When M is equal to 0, your C in will be what? 0. You can see M is directly connected to your C in. And when M is equal to 1, C in will be 1. This much is okay? This much is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when M is equal to 0, just see it will be B XOR with 0. Because you can see M is 0, so here will be 0. Here will be 0, here will be 0, and here will be 0. So that means you have to do B XOR with 0. Right? B can have 2 values. Either B can have 1 or B can have 0. So 1 XOR with 0, 1 XOR with 0 XOR with 0. So 1 XOR with 0 is what? 1. And 0 XOR with 0 is what? 0. So you can see whatever we are XORing with 0, it will be that variable only. So B XOR with 0 will be a what? B. So there is no change in here. So then in this case, this circuit will act as a full adder or parallel adder, you can say. This will act as a parallel adder. So this is first thing is clear, how it is working as a parallel adder.
Yes, sir.
Now for second case, B can have M can have second value, that is M can be equal to 1. So that in this case, now B XOR with 1. Now B can have 2 values, that is B can be 1 XOR with 1 or 0 XOR with 1. So 1 XOR with 1 will be equal to what? 0. And 0 XOR with 1 is what? 1. So you can see whatever input we are having, it will be complement of that input, and we are XORing with 1. So here we will be getting as B bar, right? And B bar, so that means we have to take the complement or 1's complement, you can also call it, and we are adding 1 to the least significant bit. That means complement, 1's complement we have already taken, and we have also added 1 to the least significant bit. That's why it will act as a parallel subtractor. Is it okay now? Just check. Should we move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next topic we will see. So if you have seen here, there is one problem. Can anyone tell me what is the problem? in either full adder, full subtractor, or can anyone tell me what is the problem we are having? Anyone?
There is a propagation delay.
Very correct. Very correct. So, as I have already told you, there is one problem. That means there is a propagation delay. So, if the number of bits are more, the computing time will be more, and your system will become very slow. Correct. So, if you want to calculate whether there is C out of any number or not, so C out will depend upon the previous C in. Right. So, there will be a huge propagation delay if the number is very large. Now, in order to reduce this propagation delay, we will use some other circuitry that is called as look ahead carry adder to reduce the timing. But obviously, if you are improving the system, it has to be there has to be some cost included to it, right? You cannot just improve the system by your will, right? There has to be some extra hardware circuits that will be required, but the time required to perform the operation from that extra hardware will not be that much as compared to the, you can say 64-bit number, addition of 64-bit number, right? But obviously the cost of the circuit will go on because you will require some extra hardware to support. So if there is a gain, there is some loss as well. So just see, we will see look ahead carry adder. So the name of the circuit is look ahead carry adder, or you can also call it as a carry look ahead adder, or you can also call it as CLA in short form, carry look ahead adder, or you can also call it as a look ahead carry adder. In some book it is look ahead carry adder, some book carry look ahead adder, whatever you want you can call it. So speed with which addition can be performed is dependent on the time required for carry to propagate or ripple through the stages. So speed with which addition is performed is dependent on time required for carry to propagate or ripple through all stages of adder. As you have already seen this case, what this is, it is saying, let us say we are having 4 full adder. So here carry in of each previous stage will be flowing to the carry out. Sorry, carry out of each previous stage will be flowing to the carry in, and finally we will be getting C out here. If it is a 4-bit number, so you can call it a C in, C1, C2, C3. So there is some propagation delay, and so speed will be limited. So speed with which addition is performed dependent on the time required for carry in to propagate. Propagate means you can see this is carry 1 is propagating to next stage, C2 is propagating to next stage, C3 is propagating to next stage, and finally we are getting a C out or ripple through the all stages of the adder, right? So this is the disadvantage. Look ahead carry speeds up the process by eliminating this ripple carry delay. Look ahead carry speeds up the process by eliminating this ripple carry delay. So we are having some arrangement. I will just show you. This will speeds up the process, right? Speed up the process. Just see. Speeding up the process is based on two additional function. They are, first one is carry generate, second one is called as carry propagate. So these are two functions which we will implement shortly, carry generate and carry propagate. So you can call it as G, you can in short form, and you can call it as P, carry generate and carry propagate. So I will just build the truth table for full adder. That let us suppose this is A, B and C in, and then you will get C out and sum. Let us input the value, that is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, so 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. So for the first case, what will be the sum and carry? Just tell me. Sum will be, for first case,
0.
Sum will be 0 and carry will also be 0. Here sum will be 1, carry will be 0. Sum will be 1, carry will be 0. Sum will be 0, carry will be 1. Sum will be 1, carry will be 0. Sum will be 0, carry will be 1. Sum will be 0, carry will be 1. Sum will be 1, carry will be 1. This table is clear? Is okay to all of you? This is we have already seen. Okay. So now see, now we have to find out the conditions by looking at the truth table whenever carry is generated. So now we will focus only, presently we will focus only about the carry out, because this carry out is what we are is making the process delay, because the in order to perform the 64th bit addition in 64-bit number or 63rd bit addition, the 62-bit carry out should be present. Then only you can perform the addition. Otherwise, there will be some error, right? So only thing right now we are worried about this carry out, how we can achieve this carry out with extra hardware, right? So just check these last two rows. Just check this last two rows and tell me what you are finding out. When you check last two rows, you may find that A and B both are 1. A and B both are 1 and carry is also 1. So you can say that first condition can be A multiplied by B. You can call it as carry generate. We will also see why we are calling it as a carry generator. I can call it as carry generate. So whenever A and B both are 1, that means I have used AND gate here. You can see I have multiplied here. Then only we can generate a carry. This logic is okay. Whenever A is if A is 0 and B is 1, then we will see for that case. But as of now, whenever A and B both are 1, we will surely generate one carry. This is okay. Just see, whenever A and B both are 1, a carry is generated, that is guaranteed. This is first condition. Is this condition is okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Now check these 4 rows. Right? Check these 4 rows, and next condition will be second condition. We will see. Now what you have to do? You have to XOR A and B and multiply it with C. Multiply it by C and see whether carry is generated. So 0 XOR with 1 will be equal to what? 0 XOR with 1 will be
1.
1.
1. 1 multiplied by 0 will be
0.
0. So you can see we are having 0. 0 XOR with 1 will be what? 1. 1 multiplied by 1 will be how much?
1.
1. 1 XOR with 0 will be what?
1.
1. 1 multiplied by 0 will be what?
0.
0. 1 XOR with 0 will be what? 1. 1 multiplied by 1 will be what?
1.
So this condition is holding true. What is that condition? That is A XOR with B multiplied by C in. Right? This condition, whenever this is true, so you can call this as P. That is carry propagate. So these are the two conditions. We will derive the expressions and we will derive the circuit as well. Just tell me whether up till this point is it clear or not. Therefore, all the cases you can see carry is 0. We do not have to check anything else. You have to check only carry generate, that is A and B, and you have to check A XOR with B and C in. Carry input multiplied by carry input. This stage is clear. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now, what I will do, I will explain full adder again with the help of a block diagram. Just remember these two cases, that is this and this, right? So this condition we are calling it as a carry propagate. So we are having two half adder. In first half adder it will be A and this will be B. So finally some expression was A XOR B XOR C or C in. This was our sum expression. So this half adder is going to the second half adder, and here we will be having A XOR B, and in second half adder we are having the input C in. This is half adder first, this is half adder second, and here we will be having A XOR B XOR C in. This will be sum, and here we will be having A multiplied by B. So the output, so carry is generated when A multiplied by B, and this here we will be getting A XOR B multiplied by C in, right? And so two conditions we have seen. So we have to pass it through OR gate. So this is OR gate, and this is our C out. C out will be A multiplied by B plus A XOR with B into C in. Just wait for a second and see this. Observe this circuit.
Sir, can you explain once again?
Which part?
So this total part, sir.
Circuit or the truth table?
Sir, circuit.
Circuit. Okay. So we have already studied half adder and full adder. So in half adder, what there are two inputs, that is A and B, and output of this half adder will be A XOR B. We are calling it as sum, and there is A multiplied by B. We are calling it as a carry. This much you know or not?
Yes, sir.
Half adder one. Okay. Then full adder can be made by adding two half adder back to back. We have already seen that. So you can call it half adder 2, and this will be the carry input of the carry input. So this will produce A XOR B XOR C in. This will be sum. You can see for you can see here in for out of two output, one output will be XOR of both the variable, and one output will be, second output will be the multiplication of both the variables. So here multiplication term will be A, because first variable is A XOR B and second variable is C in. Like here, first variable is A and second variable is B. But in second half adder, our first variable is what? A XOR B. Second variable is C in. So that is why we are getting A XOR B and C in. Then we have to pass it through an OR gate to generate, because both of these conditions are true. So what does OR gate say? Whenever one is, if both are 0, then carry will not generate. If either of the term is 1, then we will generate a carry. If both of them are 1, then also we can generate a carry. So you can call it as C out. So C out will be how much? A dot B plus A XOR B into C in. This is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this I have shown it by using block diagram. So from here, what you can see, if both A and B are 1, then carry has to be generated. So if A and B are 1, you can see here A and B we are getting here, and this is passing through 1. If A and B are 1, then that means A and B will be equal to 1. So that means carry out has to be 1. So therefore we are calling it as a carry generated. Carry generated, you can call carry generated as for nth variable. For generalizing, I'm writing it here n. So an multiplied by bn. This is our first condition for carry generation. Second condition, if A XOR B is an intermediate sum bit. A XOR B is where you can see A XOR B is here, which is intermediate sum bit called as Pn. This is Pn is A XOR B. We are calling it as a intermediate bit. So Pn can be called as A XOR B. You can call it as a Pn, right? I have assigned a variable Pn, right? So next half adder produces fixed sum. So that sum for generalized sum Fn will be equal to Pn XOR with Gn. Pn is what? This is A XOR B is Pn, and Gn is what? Sorry, this Cn. So Pin XOR with Cin. This is not Gn, this is Cin. And Pn is what? A XOR B. So we can call it as A XOR B XOR Cin. So next half adder produces a fixed sum and carry out. That is C naught is equal to Pn multiplied by Cin. Right? So you can call it as a An XOR with B and with Cin. So whatever circuit half adder we have seen, I have just wrote it down. So you can see here. This is the carry generated. So A XOR B into Cin. A XOR B we can call it as a P and Cin. This much is okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we have generated this An, Bn into Cin. So input carry will be propagated. So input carry will be propagated. Why we are calling it as a propagation? Propagate. So you can see what is the input carry. Input carry is 1. So this will be propagated to the output. That means it will be propagated to the output when you can see Pn will be equal to 1. Why? Because this Cn is multiplied by Pn. So you can see here Cin is multiplied by Pn. So if Pn is 1, then only your Cin can and Cin can be 1 and your Cout will be 1. If Pn is 0, then because it is performing an AND operation, you can see here A XOR B multiplied by Cin. So if A XOR B is 0, then output will then the carry generated will also be 0. So this carry that is here, that is Cin is 1, it will be only propagated to output if your A XOR B is 1. This much is clear. Just see, we are having two variables here, A, B, and we are having third variable that is Cin. So Cin is flowing here. So one output is your A and B. We are calling it as G. Second output is our A XOR B. We are calling it as a P. Second output is flowing through this half adder 1. This is half adder 2. And this output will be, so this will be P into Cin, and this will be P XOR with Cin. So finally we will be getting A XOR B XOR with Cin, and here we will be getting A XOR B multiplied by Cin. So this has to be passed through an OR gate. Finally we will be getting out. So first condition what we have checked, when both A and B are 1, then we will be generating we will be certainly generating a carry if both A and B are 1. Second condition, what we are checking, this Pn has to be 1, because you can see it is Pn multiplied by Cin. If Cin is 1 and if Pin is 1, then only this will be 1. If Cin is 1 and this P is 0, so 1 multiplied by 0 will be what? 0. So in that case, carry will not be propagated. Carry will not be propagated. What does it mean? The carry input will not be propagated to the carry output when P is having 0 value. This is okay. This is okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there are two terms, carry generated and carry propagated. So I hope you have understood when will be carry generated. Carry will be generated when both A and B are 1. So you can see we can generate carry out as 1. There is second case also. What is the second case? This P has to be 1. This P has to be 1. That is A XOR B has to be 1. Then only carry can propagate. So if A XOR 1 is, we have also seen in truth table, if A XOR B is 1, then Cin Cin is also 1, then this carry out from the second half adder will be 1. If A XOR B is 0, then this second output of second adder will not be 1, it will be 0, and in that case carry will not be propagated, right? So therefore we are calling Pn as carry propagated, since it enables propagation of Cin to Cout. So Cout can be 1, Cout can be equal to 1 for two cases. First one, if Gn is equal to 1. Second case, if Pn multiplied by Cn will be equal to 1. Cin will be equal to 1, or both are 1, or both are 1. So in these two cases, our Cout will be equal to 1. That means finally you will be generating a carry. What are those cases? If Gn is equal to 1 and if Pn into Cn is equal to 1. So we can pass it through an OR gate, as we have already seen. That is, if this is Gn, this A multiplied by B, and this is Pn into Cin. So this will be A into B plus Pn into Cin. So this will be Cout. So this we have already XOR I have OR gate I have already shown here, right? So just again, for n bit number I am generalizing it for n bits. So Cn, that is carry out, will be equal to Gn plus Pn multiplied by Cn minus 1. Can I write it like this? Cn is the carry out, Gn is the carry generated, Pn is the carry propagated. Carry generated will be what? An multiplied by Bn. Carry propagated will be what? An XOR with Bn.
XOR with Bn.
Sorry?
No, sir, it's okay.
Is it this expression is okay? Just check.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Now you can put here n is equal to 1 for first bit. So this will be C1 is equal to G1 plus P1 C0. Right? This will be the first equation. If you put n is equal to 2 for second bit, this will be C2 will be equal to G2 plus P2 into C1. C1 value you can put it from here to here. This will be G2 plus P2 into C1 will be G1 plus P1 into C0. So you can simplify it. So this will be G2 plus P2 G1 plus P2 P1 C0. So this will be C2. Now you can put n is equal to 3. So this will be C3 will be equal to G3 plus P3 into C2. Value of C2 you can put it from here. Right? Similarly, for the next case, n is equal to 4. This you will be getting a C4, G4 plus P4 and C3. So value of C3, what you will be getting, you will put it from here. So all we can see that in the final expression that we will be getting, that is C4. I will be writing final equation. You can calculate it later on. That is C4 is G4 plus P4 into G3 plus P4 P3 into G2 plus P4, P3, P2 into G1 plus P4, P3, P2 into P1 plus C0. So you can see here our final carry, that is C4, is only dependent upon the input carry. Rest all the carries are gone, right? P is what? P is A XOR with B, and G is what? A multiplied by B. So our C4 is independent of our input carry. That is, whether the carry will be generated or not, that we can directly see by implementing this logic. So this logic, if you see here, this is simply SOP form, that is sum of product form. So you can implement double NOT gate, double inverter, and you can implement it using NAND gate, right? This is in SOP form. Right now, this is in SOP form. You can see there is, and C4 is only dependent upon the carry input, that is C1. Hence, observe that final output carry depends only on the input variables, and which are in SOP form, and input carry, that is CO. It can be implemented using two-level NAND logic. So we have seen in SOP how many levels we are generating. There are only
Sir,
2 levels. Yes.
So we have just the class, sir.
Okay. So first level and second level. This we will continue. This much what you have seen today is clear or not?
Yes.
Okay. So only the last circuit is remaining for this carry generate. We will see in our next class. You should have reminded me earlier. It is already 10:03. Anyway.